So we have a special video today, and I also have a special guest. This is my son, Silas. Say hi, Silas. If you've not met him, say hi. And we're going to be doing my Game of the Year 2023. Silas, if you do not stop pulling on this, quit. This is a video that I've done every single year. I love doing it. I don't get a chance to talk about video games too much, but I am a big gamer besides watching movies. I'm just, not a part of the gaming scene. I just like playing games. And I wanted to go back and do my Game of the Year from like 1997 up until now, which was when I was born. But I think I'm just going to start it off with like since 2004 and go up. So here we go. 2004, Half-Life 2, 2005, Call of Duty 2, 2006, Oblivion, 2007, BioShock, 2008, Fallout 3, 2009, Modern Warfare 2, The Good Modern Warfare 2, 2010, Alan Wake, 2011, Skyrim, 2012, Walking Dead Season 1, 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5, 2014, Alien Isolation, 2015, Life is Strange, 2016, Firewatch, 2017, Outlast 2, 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2, 2019, Borderlands 3, 2020, Half-Life Alyx, 2021, It Takes Two, and 2022, High on Life. So some of my Game of the Year picks are more mainstream than others. Like Outlast 2 winning Game of the Year, Firewatch, but I love those games. And what I'm going to do with Game of the Year 2023 is I'm basically just going to talk about some of the games that I played and just like instead of doing like a top 5 or a top 6 or top 6, I'm just going to talk about games that I enjoyed. So let's go ahead and get started. Which this has been an amazing year for games to begin with. But some of the games that came out this year that I really enjoyed, Starfield. I absolutely enjoyed Starfield. I put like almost 40 hours into it within the first weekend. I mean, I beat the main quest, almost all the faction quests. That game did something right for me. I enjoyed it. It's not as bad as some people say it is. It's not my favorite Bethesda Game Studios game at all. I still love Fallout 3 and Skyrim and Oblivion. I do think Starfield's better than Morrowind and Fallout 4, though. Yeah, I said that. But I just think people are haters, really. I just think that it's easy to hate on Xbox and Starfield and Bethesda when they've really only made one bad game, which is 76, which I did not like 76 at all. But some people would even argue that 76 isn't bad. Some people actually like 76. But yeah, I like Starfield. And then there's Assassin's Creed Mirage, which Assassin's Creed Mirage was honestly a huge surprise for me because I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think it took the best out of both worlds with the RPG Assassin's Creeds and then the more linear Assassin's Creeds, because I didn't beat Odyssey. That's the one that I never beat Odyssey. That game was just way too big for me. But I did beat Valhalla and all that stuff, and I just felt like they were just too long. What do you want, buddy? Okay, stay here, be a good boy, and make this video with Daddy. He's got him a little breakfast biscuit, so he should be good. I liked Assassin's Creed Mirage. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't really care too much for Basim. Basim? Is that how you say his name? Basim? I don't really care for him as a character, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I just don't. But I did enjoy the pacing of the game. It didn't overstay its welcome. I liked how it was structured. And I just kind of just missed that Assassin's Creed a lot. And then with survival horror, this has been a terrific year for survival horror. We had the Resident Evil 4 remake, which I think was better than the original Resident Evil 4. That might be controversial, but it's just how I feel, man. And then I played the Separate Ways DLC, so I enjoyed Resident Evil 4 a lot. And Dead Space, the remake, was really good as well, although I didn't like it compared to the first Dead Space. The first Dead Space just hit me a lot more, which Dead Space 2 is my favorite anyway. Silas, do not grab that. I love you, buddy.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then there was Alan Wake 2, which is the sequel to my favorite game ever made. But there's no biases with Alan Wake 2. Because even though it is a sequel to my favorite game ever, Alan Wake 2 was not the sequel that I wanted or asked for. But it's the sequel that I got, and I loved it. I seriously loved it. And I think that it's a terrific game. I think it pushes gaming, the boundaries of gaming in a way graphically that's just extremely impressive. Are you getting back down again, buddy? Silas, do not grab that while you get down. Golly, bro. But I just enjoyed my time with it, and I almost 100%ed it my first playthrough, and I don't usually have time to do every game like that, but I did, and I could not wait for the DLC. I already got the season pass on that bad boy. And I've also been playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my wife. I think more people appreciate Baldur's Gate 3 than I do. Like, I like Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't like it as much as other people. But I still really enjoy it. Like, I think I have about 10 hours played in Baldur's Gate 3, which I've been playing split screen with my wife on PlayStation 5. And I enjoy it a lot. I mean, it's fun. I don't really play many games that are like Baldur's Gate 3, but I have had a lot of fun with it. It's a little frustrating, a little stressful because I'm still trying to figure it out, but I can see the hype that surrounds it. And I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but I've also played Anemopolis Chapter 1, which is a liminal space game. I love liminal space pool room games. That's basically what I use Steam for, is Half-Life and liminal space games. But I've also been playing Fears to Fathom, which I just beat Ironbark Lookout today. And I love Fears to Fathom. I just get really excited every single time a new episode comes out. But with that said, I usually like to hold up my game if I have it, but here's the thing. I don't do physical games anymore. I switched completely to digital this year when it comes to video games, and I know a lot of people are like, ah! But the reason being is because if you buy a game on a disc nowadays, there's so many updates and DLCs that it just basically the disc is nothing. So I just prefer to just have everything downloaded, buy a big ass hard drive, and just move them back and forth. I mean, I can still play them offline. So I'm kind of cool with digital gaming at this point. It is what it is. I think that's the direction that it's going in. Like, I don't see movies switching over to digital, hopefully at all. But gaming, I just see it just because gigabyte space, and it's just so much more convenient. I might get a little bit of hate on that. I know people enjoy their physical media. Believe me, I miss collecting games physically. But it was just a choice that I made this year. Anyway, Game of the Year. Before I tell you guys my Game of the Year, I just want to promote my short film 2. I have an Indiegogo up for it right now. I'm like 207% over what we asked for, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to donate to it, it would mean the world, seriously. This is sort of my big short before my next feature that I'm doing. I almost look at it as like a professional thesis in a way. So we're doing our second stretch goal. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely check it out. Links in the description below. Game of the Year. What won my Game of the Year for 2024? I have it narrowed down to 2 games, and I already know which one won. But the 2 games that are on my list for Game of the Year, just so that way I can keep the mystery going just for a little bit longer, is Alan Wake 2 and Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 I was so satisfied with my playthrough on that game. Like, I did not care to keep playing that game. Like, there's some games where I'll play them and then after like 2 hours or so, I'm kind of burnt out and I'm like, okay, I need to take a break. But with Resident Evil 4, I did not feel that way at all. I just wanted to play it. I just wanted to keep playing Resident Evil 4. Yeah, I had a great time with it. And the same with Alan Wake 2. When that game first came out, I was playing the shit out of it, and I didn't stop really until I beat it. But out of those 2 games, what won my Game of the Year? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 is my Game of the Year for 2023, and I mean that in the most unbiased way possible, because even though it is the sequel to my favorite game ever, it is not the sequel that I asked for, and I still think Alan Wake is still a better game, but Alan Wake 2 is probably in my top 15 games of all time now. I just enjoyed the graphics, the story. It reminded me a lot of Twin Peaks: The Return, which was really the only way that I think we could have got Alan Wake back, just because it's been 13 years, and I don't really think people necessarily care too much about Alan Wake, the original, if I'm being honest, because it didn't really sell that well. Here comes my son again. Hey, buddy. What you getting into? What? But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. Definitely check out the Indiegogo down in the description below. It'd mean a lot. You can also follow me on my Letterboxd and my Instagram. Anyway, what was your Game of the Year for last year, 2023? And I'll see you guys next time. 2024 is looking pretty shit, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know how I feel about 2024 in gaming, but we shall see. Speaking of gaming, Silas, show them what you got. You got Daddy's controller.